Good afternoon. At this time, we'll call our January 7th, 2020 meeting to order. And we're not going to do an invocation tonight, but instead of invocation, we're going to have a moment of silence for Mr. Herman Liller, who served on the Board of Commissioners from 1986 to 92. He served 12 years on the board, and Herman was a real good commissioner. At this time, we have a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I would like to remind the board that any board member have a conflict of interest concerning any agenda item that the board will address in this meeting. Oh no. Okay, thank you. If not, do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Monroe.
I would like to make one addition to the agenda, and it'll be underneath closed session. It'll be B, economic development discussion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda with the stated addition by the county manager.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the agenda by and all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. Our consent agenda, do we have a motion to approve it?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, let it be known by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous, thank you. Okay, we don't have any public addresses to the board. Thank you. At this time, we have appearance, Mrs. Terry Hems. Yes, sir.
I would like to say it's been a privilege knowing each one of y'all in this county. Me and my wife, I'm dealing with some health problems right now. I was developed cancer back in August, bladder cancer. I don't know what my future is, but I do know who holds my future.
Yes, sir.
And I think Almighty God holds my future.
Yes.
But I would like to say before I get started, I would like to thank the opportunity of being able to run against Mr. Gatewood. It was an inspiration for me to be able to run against you, sir.
And it was an inspiration for me to run against you, Mr. Helms.
And I think that was an honor because you being who you was in the county, a very honorable person. And I felt very honored to be able to run against you in the 2018 election. And I appreciate you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Helms.
I would like to say this to the board, that at this agile time that I'm asking y'all, and I know you're already aware that the county needs a new communication system, is they need right now a larger, more stronger communication system. As Union County experiences right now with 800 kilowatts, we do need this system because I was approached by an individual that said, Mr. Helms, our system's like Mickey Mouse. When you press it, it don't go nowhere. It goes nowhere. And that hurt me very much because our communication in our county needs to be to where we can pop that mic and know we can talk to somebody. And that's why I'm bringing this one idea to the board. We need this communication done, and we need it done in a speedily way. And I'm asking you that. My second asking today is passing a communication. This county needs a Crime Stopper. I was talking to the director in Monroe the other day, Mr. Reed Helms. He's the director over Crime Stopper in Monroe, North Carolina, Union County. He told me, he said, Mr. Helms, you asked your sheriff if I can come up and present the Crime Stopper opportunity for your county. And I said, I would be glad to ask Mr. Landrick for the Crime Stopper teacher to come up here and present himself and introduce it to this county. We need this for two purposes. One is to help deter crime. And the second purpose is a nonprofit. Everything goes into Crime Stoppers that's given by the residents in the city and the county goes into a nonprofit account that is only paid out to people that help deter crime and be able to get people apprehended for crimes that they do. I feel like that's a notable thing that this county needs real bad. We need a Crime Stopper. We need something to give people opportunity to be able to catch people in the act or be able to report them. We need that in this county. And I beg and ask of y'all commissioners, if you put this on your agenda, that we could try to get a Crime Stopper in Anson County. I asked you that today, if you would debate this and see if you could put this on the agenda to be debated. And also, I did want to ask one more thing before I sit down. As you know, this county has a lot of subsidy. This county has a lot of entitlement. This county, we have funds in this county that we use to help one another to get through situations. What my question is I have one more question, and that was the change of the motion for social services to be scratched and the school to be built. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not challenging you on the school. I love schools, and I want to see the school system grow. But, and y'all don't think I'm kicking your shins or anything by saying this, but the money that we scrapped on the idea of building a social services building and losing that money because of engineers and architects, that's money that the county could not have lost. That's money that the county could not have scrapped. We should have been able to use that money. And I'm not saying it's wastefully used by scratching this idea. But if we could have given a portion of this money to needy people, it would have been a better benefit for the county for us to be able to use some of that money to help the subsidy and entitlement people, to help them a lot better off than what they are today.
Mr. Hill.
And Miss Denise Cannon, I want to thank you for all you've done. You finally entitled me to be able to stand. And I'm not here another season. I do know that I appreciate each one of y'all. Me and Betty has been living in this county 4 years. In June, I met a lot of nice people here. I met lots of people here. In fact, I think I know more people here than I do in Union County, and I've lived there 63 years in Union County.
Thank you, Mr. Helms.
But I want to tell you that I
Mr.
thank
Helms,
y'all
our time
very
keeper.
much for
Mr.
being my
Helms.
friend. And I thank you for being able to come and share my opportunity today with you.
Thank you, Mr. Helms.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just one quick thing I'd like to say to you, Mr. Helms. You were talking about money being lost in the social services building. If we had not taken the school, we would have lost $15 million. So,
Okay, Mr. Hen, we thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
tonight.
Thank you,
And I
mister.
Pray that your health
yeah, good luck to you very much.
your
Very
health
much.
get better. Thank you.
I thank y'all for very much for allowing me. Thank you, Miss Cannon. Thank you.
At this
Mr.
time,
Ford.
we'll have our manager report.
Thank
Mr.
every one
Monroe.
of y'all. God bless. God bless every one of y'all. Thank you.
First up, we have a financial audit report.
Chairman, board members, we want to start with, I know we're talking about 18-19, but we want to start with 17-18 as well. You all received the report last month from Alan Thompson. There's been an issue getting that uploaded to the LGC site. There's nothing wrong with the audit, but that should be something that's worked out in the next day or two. We are working, as a positive note, internally, we estimated fund balance to be about 11.1 million, and you saw it as 11.6 after the audit. So 18-19 is underway. We don't have any site visits scheduled yet, except for the DSS portion, which they want to run concurrent, so that there's not a duplication of pulling files and such. So they will be at DSS at the end of this month for 19.
Okay, I'm
Internally,
sorry. Let me ask one question before I
Yes, sir.
forget. The $5 million have already come out for the school, right?
that is that is because in 18 it wouldn't have been promised.
But that's not in this 11.1, is it?
It is part of that 11.1 because
It is part of
by
the
18 it would not have been dedicated. So that's still going to be a board decision whether you chose to, when you fund it, whether you fund it with fund balance or through borrowing. I think we talked about a financial plan that we've been working on with the school system that will, in any circumstance, is going to involve us going to the debt market for some portion of the school. And our thought internally was to propose that we finance our portion of that commitment, along with whatever shortfall there is to make up the balance of the school.
Okay, so that'll leave us about 6.6. What?
It should be around
What
7
is
after
it?
19 if you take that commitment into consideration and you fund it that way.
Okay, what percent did that give us that we supposed to have on hand?
That would be,
I think it's about down to 22, 23.
yeah, because you're figuring it on $30 million of expense. So you figure if it's 7 over 30, it's
22.
about 2.3, something like that.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Excuse me, 23%, sorry. But that's where we're at. We do have, like I said, the first field work scheduled for the end of this month. You should start seeing something online, hopefully in the next week for 18, and then getting the 17 stuff restated. I think that was it. Was there anything else on it? Is there any question?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
One question. Last month, Mr. Alan Thompson made a presentation of the 2018 audit results.
Right.
And I asked him the question, when should the 2019 audit results be available? And he said 60 days.
The contract is for 2/28. He meant 60 days from end of this year.
All right.
But 2/28.
So we can expect another presentation at the March 3rd meeting?
We expect that they'll have their work completed by then. I don't know if they'll have it ready to present by March, but we should have a rough draft by then.
All right, thank you.
No, we don't meet on March the 3rd. That's the election day.
All right, well, in March, we'll meet.
Correct.
So-
But everything should have been completed by then in
All
terms
right.
of field work and compiling.
So their presentation will be April.
That appears, and I would think, yes.
All right, very good, thank you.
Any other questions?
Any other questions from any board member? Okay, now, thank you, Kerry, for that report.
Two, 1, 2 in the fraction, by the way, fraction, all you.
Okay, next on the manager's report. Last year, during my first meeting, it was mentioned by and made a motion of and passed by Commissioner Gatewood and the rest of the board to recognize our retirees. So, taking that into account, we have 3 retirees, recent retirees with the county that we have in frames, certificates.
Thank you. Good for you.
And we had, we sent out invitations to all the individuals, and if they were able to make it, we extended that invitation. And if not, then we have their supervisors here, and hopefully they can get the recognition to them. So if they're here, I'd like for them to stand up and come and receive their certificate for years of service with the county. That is Mrs. Mary Crawford. If you're not here, can your supervisor come up for you?
Sheriff coming up.
Sheriff Conley.
Sheriff, I'm sorry. I think you have 2 there. Happy retirement. The next is Mr. Nathaniel Clark, Jr., 15 years of service.
Stay up there, Mr. Sheriff.
Oh, you said the sheriff. And the next is Miss Jane Curtis, 14 years of service with the. Oh, the next There you go.
The newspaper's here. He's gonna take a, Miss Curtis, come back up, please. You get over there with the certificates. Gosh.
Lock her up. I'm just kidding.
Okay, Chair, go up there with and get in the picture, please. Get on the side with Miss Curtis. Stay there, Scott, take the pictures.
Oh, I-
Get the seal in the back.
Yeah. Get on the, yeah. Okay.
Nice job.
Great job, great job. Thank
In regards to other recognition, this is one of the things that we're getting better at here at the county is recognizing people's great works.
Exactly.
On December 18th, and the only reason I'm standing up now is because I think some of the people are currently in the room, so I'd like for them to stand up as well. There was a young lady, 10 years old, who disappeared from Anson Elementary School around 2:30. And I get a phone call saying from Rodney Diggs that we have a search that needs to take place. And so Rodney, along with 20+ other individuals, all stepped up from the community, from people who work with us in the county, from people who work with different agencies, stepped up to find this young lady and left. It was just over 3 hours. She was found about 5:45 that evening. And if you remember December 18th, it got really, really cold. So this young lady was lost in the woods, but we had a strong effort from our staff and our community. So I would like to just have, if people are here, stand up and be recognized for that effort. First, Rodney Diggs. And I might have some of these wrong, hopefully not. Deputy Edmondson, Lieutenant Bean, Lieutenant Williams, Detective Martin, Sergeant Walter Owens, Deputy Haley, SADL Cole, Brian Nance, Wester Gall, Deputy Drake, Deputy McDonald, Scott Gullidge, Lieutenant Tice, Major Watkins, Chief Howell, Sergeant Bennett, and then 2 individuals I don't recognize, Mr. Greg Cox and Mr. Ben Wooten. These are all, it was a multi-agency effort to find this young lady in a very quick time. The sheriff, I apologize.
I just supervise the sheriff's office.
Sorry. And the sheriff was also there as well.
Also, Mr. Freeman.
Mr. Freeman.
Mr. Butter.
And,
Mr. Butter.
correct, the principal.
Great job.
Mr. Manager, Miss Jackson, some of her staff, we was in a meeting that day and someone come and got some of her staff that they also was involved in that.
Good job.
Who was that, Miss Jackson?
Miss Kendall.
Okay, Miss Mary Kendall, okay.
And Miss Mary Kim.
She was involved in it.
Great job.
Mr. Manager, I do have a couple of follow-up questions, if I may. Number one, could you give us a brief update on the social services building project, please? And number two, the county just received a $1.5 million grant for a new ACS facility. Could you please give us a quick update on your plans for moving that project forward?
Yes, first, for details, we sent out an RFP in the middle of December. We had a 2-month request period, so that period is still open until February 11th. So we're still in an RFP process. We have another month to go. Hopefully we have more information for you toward the end of the budget, toward the beginning of the budget process. So that's where we are with that piece. For the $1.5 million that we received from the federal government in regards to the ACS bus depot or train transportation station, we are at the very beginning of that process. Over the holidays, it's hard to coordinate these things, given that there's 2.5 weeks that people are taking off. However, Mr. Rao had a recent conversation with the powers that be about process. So right now, we're still at the very beginning. We have every intention of maximizing those dollars and getting it done very quickly. But right now, we're still at the beginning.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Monroe, for that report. On my report tonight, I only have 2 things. Mr. Commissioner Woodburn and I received a call from Mr. Joe Jones concerned about the City Pond Road. And Sheriff, have you been down through that lately?
I was there last week. City tunnel is what they call it.
Okay. I think DOT talked to them. They plan on helping us clean that up, but we need to. Have our 2 people been employed that with the?
We put in the budget this past year for 2 part-time positions coming from the public works, public utilities side of things. We've had those jobs open since September and only had 3 or so candidates that we felt comfortable interviewing, and so right now it's still available. We are reposting those jobs at NC Works. We're going to see if we can run it in the Express, and we're putting it back up on our website to try to get a better pool of candidates.
Okay. Oh, they'll need it, believe me. My other item was, Sheriff, you had a young lady, one of your deputies, I don't know her name, but I was at the sheriff's office on the day she came in. She rescued a little baby in Pete Polkton, and I think she needs to be recognized.
Yes, sir. I was gonna bring her up next month. Because
Okay, good, all right.
That was Carmen Jenkins.
Okay.
And you're correct. It was a newborn child. It was December the 22nd. It was a newborn that was in a car with her mother at Witt's Convenience in Polkton, and Carmen was dispatched to it. And once she arrived there, she did notice that the baby was very cold, very dirty. The mother was on drugs. The baby was born with cocaine in her system, and the mother at the time had possibly cocaine in her system. And because of the clerk at Witt's Convenience Store who called it in and tried to help this individual a day or 2, but she kind of refused help. And Deputy Jenkins, because of their actions, this baby probably was able to live. I think the doctors think that she wouldn't have had much time had they not responded, but it started with a store clerk that was concerned who didn't want to give her name. I do have her name on the report at the office, but she didn't want to give her name. And then Deputy Jenkins, a lot of times, police officers and deputies, a lot of times we go to calls and we don't pay attention to the small details. And Carmen paid attention to the small details. being a mother herself, she saw some stuff in this baby, and they ended up taking the baby to the hospital in Charlotte, so, and the mother was arrested. But,
That's what I wanted to ask you, Sheriff. How can this mother refuse help? You didn't allow her to refuse help, did you?
no, not this day. She refused help from the store clerk.
Oh, okay. I wondered how she refused help from you, because you just put the handcuffs on her and took over.
She didn't have a choice that day, but I appreciate you recognizing that. I was still bringing her
Yeah,
best
bring
line
her.
to really give her a plaque and everything, but it was those kind of things are really, as Lula can tell you, those kind of things are really touching. To help a child and know that child really didn't have any help from his own mother, who was hot at the time, and it was below 30 degrees. The mother was hot and had one of the windows down, and the engine turned off.
Do you know the condition of the baby now? That's
I
not
don't know
public
right
information.
now. Lula may know.
It may not be public information, is it?
It's probably covered under HIPAA, but I mean,
Okay.
as far as Farrell in good
The
condition.
child is safe.
Okay.
It is safe.
Okay.
Thank you, Lula. Thank you for what you and your staff do. And the sheriff and his department. Thank you. Do we have any commissioners' concern, petition, announcement, or comments?
I have a concern, not really a concern, a question I need to ask, and I want to recognize our clerk who has been working with me on it since August. Mr. Freeman, the side of the road at Lylesville School where the brush, I got some young men that will help me do it, but when I reached out to them about it, I was told that belongs to Department of Transportation. That's why you guys can't cut it. But that school is so pretty to have that brush out there. So Denise and I reached out to DOT. My son runs a lawn business. They will let him cut it, but I have to get permission from the school system. He will not cut it during school hours. He's not gonna charge. They just want, I think it makes the road even, the school, everything look better. Who is it someone we have to talk to about it? Going and cutting that brush and those briars?
Well, if it's on the Anson County Board of Education property, you would start with me. If it's on DOT, and I have been in conversation about that same property you and I talked about.
Yeah.
Including the section where the weeds are growing.
Yes.
By the highway. If you'll notice, within the
Real
last
bad.
month, on the property side, leading to the Board of Education, we had our weeds removed. We're trying to control it. But we can't go on the other side of the fence. Now, DOT's telling us because we don't have a budget yet, that they don't have funding to clear it and clean it the way it should be. Because our challenge is, if they don't clean their side, those weeds just keep coming back.
And they are.
So, they've assured us they will address it when their funding is released from the state. But the school board and I would be very appreciative and supportive of the state cleaning that property, because you're right, it's a beautiful school.
Mm-hmm.
And it does take away from the appearance of the ball field and the school along that corridor as people travel Highway 74. So, Commissioner Sir, I'm not sure if it's more of a state conversation, but we would never interfere with anybody the state authorized to be on their property to cut the overgrowth and so forth. So if you want to text or call me, we can explore it.
There's your answer, Mr. Sturdivant. He said he would never interfere with anybody that was over there cutting it.
Because if we do not get it cut, here's what we're gonna do. We do a community, what is the project where you go around, they do a community day? Yeah. We're gonna make it our community day,
Sounds good. I'll be glad to ride by and.
cause those kids are doing great. Yeah, you need to get that off of
I
there.
have a special interest in that building myself.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other commissioner? If not, at this time, we have a personnel issue and an executive, economic development. We're going in closed session under North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6. Do we have a motion at this time?
I move going closed session.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to go in closed session. All in favor, let it be known by aye. The public, we thank you for coming. You're welcome to wait outside. We shouldn't